Pakistan 10, 15 years ago was not the easiest country in the world to start investing in. The opportunity is not just making something here for the rest of the world, but making something for Pakistanis as well. If you're ambitious and you're motivated, really you can get a lot done here.
Repatriation of profits has been a challenge for a lot of investors in Pakistan. How do you manage it somehow?
If you can track that your money is coming from a legitimate, source from abroad, it should be fine. SIFC, they have been extremely helpful for me. A lot of the boards of investment and a lot of the chambers, they have been very, very supportive.
Other than cryptocurrency, are there any technological advancements that could prove to be a game changer for Pakistan?
Connectivity is very important in Pakistan. So something like Starlink, 6G internet now, all of those things I think we can innovate on. You need to go to places that make you uncomfortable. You need to do things that make you uncomfortable. That's where the opportunities are. I run my company's very German way that, this is how it goes. This is, these are our SOPs, this is our process, and this is what we have to do. Because I think here in Pakistan, people are very open and like, okay, if it works, it works, But I'm very strict with the way, things like timing, something that's so simple, I'm very, very strict with that. Because my clients expect that from us. Like we have a staffing company in the Middle East, where we provide waiters and waitresses and things like this, and they need to be on time. They need to be well-groomed. They need to have that qualification. And you can only do that by really having a very strict structure where things can only move forward once, the first piece has been done already. That's what I try to bring.
Ultimately, I think what matters is to bring discipline in work, because I think with discipline, you get things done.
Right.
And so this work ethic is really essential, especially the kind of work that you're doing, running multiple businesses at the same time.
And what I found is the people here in Pakistan, they have the skills, like the electrician, he has the skills, but oftentimes he will do the, let's say, the faster way or the easier way, even though he has those skills. So I try to really push my people that even though, okay, we can get it done, you can send me a message on WhatsApp and that's it. But, we have processes, send me an email, make sure it's approved, things like this. Even if it takes a little bit more time, in 6 months' time, when I look back, hey, why did this happen? I can see on the email, okay, this.
It's also that after a significant amount of time, if that knowledge is not recorded, it just gets lost as well.
Yeah.
So having SOPs in place, all the procedures to follow them, even though if it takes longer to get done, but I think it only makes your life easier in the long run.
Exactly, yeah. It gives us also a little bit of security that, if tomorrow something happens to me, something happens to my manager or one of my employees, that we can keep moving. There's no, stoppage because we know the way things should go. Things should move forward. It helps a lot. It helps with onboarding new people and training new people as well.
And so these 10 to 12 companies that you're running, are they all have presence in Pakistan?
Yeah, those 12 or 10 to 12 are all Pakistani companies. I have, another set of companies that are outside of Pakistan. I split my time between Dubai, Doha, and Pakistan in Islamabad. So in Dubai and Doha, I have a staffing company, and I also run an investment fund from there, where clients, high net worth individuals will give me their money and I invest on their behalf. Venture capital, private equity, public markets, anything like that.
It's really fascinating. I mean, especially, we live in an era where we have people like Elon Musk who are running multiple ventures at the same time and each significantly, at a large scale. But, and I always wonder how he manages his time, but in your case also, how your day looks like and how do you make sure that, you have an eye on each one of them and they get the priority that they deserve?
It's a great question. And the truth is that it's impossible to manage all of them at the same time. The key really is to hire the right people to manage it for you. And then I can give the big picture idea, big picture strategy, and they are able to then work on that, make the goals and the tasks to reach that place. So just having the right people, for example, my investments, generally it's US public market. So I have to be awake US time. So that means that I'm awake until 5 a.m. Pakistan time. So, I'm not available in the morning. So my team has to be able to manage without me in the morning. So really, it's just about hiring the right people. And then obviously accountability, making sure you follow up, making sure if you have given tasks that you make sure they're done. Have, again, the right processes, the right SOPs, that emails are sent and responsibilities are shared.
And take me through a bit of your earlier background. What did you study, and how did you end up in Pakistan?
Sure, that's a great question. So originally, I'm from Germany. I was born in Germany, but I lived for many years in the Middle East. So my family, we moved to Kuwait and Dubai. So I was exposed very early on to many different cultures and countries. And growing up, I had a lot of Pakistani friends. And as we got older, some of them were getting married, some of them, came to work in Pakistan. So a lot of them invited me. So the first time I came was in Lahore. This was maybe, wow, 2008, I think. So I was very young. I was still a child, but I came to visit some friends and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I came again. I visited Islamabad. I visited Abdabad, Peshawar, and really it was such a great time that I decided, okay, every year I'm just going to come visit some friends, and that's how it started. Then I went off to college. I went to the U.S. I did my master's degree in finance, and then I worked a little bit in Qatar and in Dubai. And at that point, I was still coming between Pakistan and Dubai a lot because my company in Dubai that I had started after I graduated, our back office team was in Pakistan because you can get so much more value for your money here in Pakistan. So our accounting, our HR, our customer service, we do it all through Pakistan. So at that point, I already had some permanence here in Pakistan, and at that point, I decided, okay, I'd like to be here more often, and I see the opportunities there are. And then I learned about BVMW, which is Germany's largest SME network. And I learned they did not have a country director for Pakistan. And I thought, wow, perfect. My home country, Germany, plus my adopted country, Pakistan, I could work on two things at the same time. This would be amazing. So I decided, okay, let's do it full time. And yeah, the rest is history. Since then, I've been coming every couple of weeks or so. I spent 2 weeks here, spent 2 weeks in Dubai, have opened a number of companies. I'm so confident in the success or in the opportunity of Pakistan that I've invested most of my money into Pakistan as well.
And when you were starting and assessing your options, where to invest and where to spend most of your time, did you feel that there were any particular challenges in Pakistan, and how did you overcome them?
Of course, any country will have challenges. And coming from a place like Dubai, where everything is very streamlined and investor focused, you have to understand the way that things work. So coming to Pakistan, I did not know the culture. I did not know the language. So that's something that I had to learn about. Obviously, setting up businesses, I had to get help with that. Understanding local business culture as well. I had to understand that, when you go out for a meeting, it's very different in Germany when you go for a meeting than when you come to Pakistan for a meeting.
Yeah.
In Germany, it's very strict. Hi, this is what we're talking about. Okay, this is this. Okay, we're done. In Pakistan, we like to sit, we like to have coffee, we like to meet each other and discuss. And we can sit for 3 hours without even talking about our business, In Germany, it's not like that. So that's something I had to learn. But, spending time here, it comes naturally.
And so when it comes to ease of doing business, and while you were starting your first business here, can you recall like any particular challenges that you faced in terms of starting the business?
Absolutely. So initially, this was 10 years ago or so. I came with some ideas. For example, my back office for my staffing company, setting up the business, sending the money from Dubai to Pakistan, understanding how to repatriate profits. All of that was quite a challenge at the time.
Yeah.
So I had to work with legal consultants. I had to work with attorneys to try and make sure everything is correct. Since then, a lot has changed, in my opinion. So SIFC, they have been extremely helpful for me. A lot of the boards of investment and a lot of the chambers, they have been very, very supportive. So what I do now, if I have a business idea, I will go through one of the boards of investment or the chambers of commerce. They might direct me to, a different agency, or I go directly to the SIFC with my questions. They've been extremely helpful.
And repatriation of profits has been a challenge for a lot of investors in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
But has that been sorted to some extent? How do you manage it somehow?
Yes, it has. in some ways it has been sorted, where if you can track that your money is coming from a legitimate source from abroad, as long as you do all the right, you tick all the right boxes, it should be fine. I believe the way we did it, we had to get permission from the State Bank of Pakistan, and after that it was no issue at all. But generally, to be honest, I do not repatriate my profits. I reinvest here in Pakistan.
Which is why like you have multiple companies.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Any profit that I make, I try to grow my companies.
How do you compare somehow your work that you've done in Pakistan compared to some other countries that you've been to?
That's a great question, because in the UAE, in the US, in Germany, where I have worked before, your work is only as much as your position. You're a financial analyst, you analyze the financials. You're an associate, you put together a pitch deck. Here in Pakistan, your impact depends on your effort. So if you are able to put in a lot of effort, if you're ambitious and you're motivated, the sky is the ceiling here. Really, you can get a lot done here. So a lot of my team members, I tell them, don't be shy. If you have an idea, if you have a suggestion, tell me, and we can try to implement it if it makes sense. Because at the end of the day, I'm not the one on the ground. I'm not the one refilling, the LPG cylinders. I'm not the one coding the software. My people are doing it, so they are the experts. So you need to listen to them. And so some of them, have become, from very junior position, have become up to managers in that company.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about Pakistan in that regard, in business, that it's almost like America, where it depends just on you. However much you push, however much effort you put into it, you can become anything. Unfortunately, in Germany, we don't have that anymore, because we have quite heavy regulation and bureaucracy. So unless you come from a big company, it can be very difficult to have a startup or to start something new.
I think like the developed countries, the markets are saturated, the competition is more fierce. And for a country like Pakistan, I think there's still potential. Like you mentioned, that sky is the limit, in that sense that you can get done anything. And there are many sectors where isn't that fierce competition. The market is huge, the population is huge. So do you think like these are some of the factors as well?
Absolutely. Like you said, the population is huge. So competition is okay. Competition is healthy. That's what you want in an economy. And so you come to Pakistan, you see things, you see, I think this would work really well, and you can go for it. You can do it. It's quite simple here. Whereas in Germany, for example, it takes many months to get approval for a lot of businesses.
Tell me a bit about BVMW as an organization and how it operates.
Yeah, BVMW is Germany's largest SME network. So we have over 300,000 member individuals. We have over 88 international offices around the world. And our mandate is to increase bilateral trade with Germany. So whichever country you're in, you try to increase your trade with Germany. So Germany and Pakistan, I believe, 2022, we had about $4 billion in bilateral trade. My goal, my challenge is to increase that.
Right.
I would love to see that go to 10 billion, to 40 billion, to 100 billion. And the opportunity is there. There are Pakistani companies that are willing and want to purchase German equipment. And there are German companies that want to invest in Pakistan. So my goal is really about connecting those two people. Because, how will the Pakistani gem mine find the German manufacturer of these machines, One might think they're too small to contact the big one, or the big one might think, oh, how am I gonna, enter this market? So I'm here just to try and make it easier for them to understand. Yes, German companies, you can easily enter the Pakistani market. And yes, Pakistani companies can easily purchase German goods. And as part of that, BVMW, we help them with company setup, registration. We help the networking part. And then a big part is also that we do loan facilitation. So if there's a Pakistani company that needs German equipment, if it's, I think, up to 10 million euros, they can purchase German equipment, zero interest loans, using zero interest loans. So we make that facilitation possible, basically to improve the trade relations between the countries. And in Germany, SMEs are very different than in Pakistan. In Germany, SMEs, we call them small, medium-sized enterprises, but really we call it der Mittelstand. These are Generally family-owned companies. Maybe they have 200, 300, 400 employees. They're the backbone of Germany's economy. I think something like 85% of Germany's population or Germany's workforce is employed by an SME or a company that is part of the Mittelstand. So it's very different. We are very strong politically in Germany as well. So we encourage the government to enact change to make it easier for businesses to do their business, to operate. At the same time, we also do that internationally. So I lobby the government here. I lobby other governments to, hey, if you do this, it might attract more German companies, or maybe you should sign this type of trade agreement. Because Pakistan and Germany, we have a long history. I think I read somewhere that Pakistan and Germany, we signed the first bilateral investment treaty back in the early 60s or late 50s. So, I want to keep that going. And we see the diaspora of Pakistanis in Germany is huge now.
And are there like particular sectors that you focus on, or like how do you see or prioritize the sectors?
Regarding BVMW, it can be any sector. Generally, I like to focus on manufacturing because manufacturing requires equipment that can be bought from Germany. A lot of the companies here in Pakistan, they're buying Chinese equipment. And a lot of them are complaining to me, Matthew, I bought this equipment. Yes, it was half the price of the German equipment, but it broke in a year. And they don't have any training. They don't have any maintenance from the Chinese companies. So another part that I do is that, hey, if you buy this German equipment, there's 5 years warranty, that they will come and train your team. They have the spare parts. A lot of these things that the Chinese company or Thai company might not have.
So is this like also the mandate of BVMW to bring the investors and potential clients together and enable the networking?
It's a big part of it. We have a platform where we can connect investors and suppliers and producers, manufacturers, but that's a very small part of it. A big part of it is that our business union in Germany. So we have a representative for each country, but then we also have a representative for each city in Germany and each area within Germany. So let's say PIA approaches me here in Pakistan and says, Matthew, we are looking for a very specific part for the interior cabin of our airplane. Only 5-6 companies do it. So then I will research, okay, these 5-6 companies do it. 2 of them are in Germany. Let me reach out to the representatives of those areas because they will be, close with them. They will have networking or networks with them. And then they will tell me, okay, yes, these are our products, this is our catalog, this is what we have. And then I will share that with the Pakistani company. The way the Pakistani company might find me is, one, through things like this, where I'm raising awareness of what I do, but also we have very active social media profile. I take part in as many events and forums as possible. So the Digital Foreign Direct Investment Forum that we had a few months ago, the EU-Pakistan Business Forum that was unfortunately postponed, GITEX in Germany, in Dubai, around the world, any types of event, we try to be there. We try to meet as many people as possible. I also have signed MOUs with a number of chambers. So with the Pakistan-German chamber, we've signed an MOU. We are going to sign an MOU with the Islamabad chamber, OICCI, SIFC. All of these we have very close relationships with, and they can funnel a lot of their requests to me. So we do not charge anything for this, but you might tell me, hey, Matthew, my friend, he runs this mine in KPK. He's looking for this equipment. Could you connect him? Generally, that's how we do it. At the same time, I also try to bring delegations of Pakistani companies to Germany and German companies to Pakistan. So in April, we had a delegation of 20 or so Pakistani businesses that came to Germany, came to some of the events with us, came to the BVMW headquarters, met all of our regional representatives, and they have made lasting connections from that.
And has there been like any success so far in recent times with this effort that you're doing under BVMW?
Yes, a lot of these are long-term processes that can take time, but one way that we can evaluate how well we're doing is to see the number of German companies coming to Pakistan. So I recently saw a post from the German ambassador here in Pakistan, Mr. Granas. He mentioned that there are last in June, there was 5 new German companies that have set up in Pakistan. And a few of those are ones that I have brought here as well.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, must be really fulfilling.
absolutely. Absolutely. Knowing that my work, you can actually see the results of your work is really
Yeah.
important.
And that also like then creates all the employment opportunities and economic activities. I'm sure it must be like really rewarding.
Yeah, it feels good.
Are there venture capital firms from Germany interested to invest in Pakistan? How does this ecosystem work?
It's a great question. I don't know of any venture capital fund that has made investments from Germany in Pakistan yet. I know there is interest because I have been approached. Generally, the funds that are interested in Pakistan are those that are based in GCC regions, so in UAE and Saudi and Qatar. They have very, very strong mandate for Pakistan. I used to work for one of the largest venture capital funds in Dubai. It's called Wamda Capital. And one of our key areas of focus was Pakistan. Generally, what happens, it's unfortunate, but generally what happens is that the Pakistanis with a good startup idea, generally they take those ideas to Dubai or Saudi or the US. But we have seen after COVID how much the venture capital industry or sector here has increased. I think I saw billions have been raised over the last 5 years, which is incredible.
The overall startup ecosystem improved since 23, I think. But I think there has been some decline as well since then, yeah?
After 2023, there's been some, or 2022, after that, there's been some decline, yeah.
But are you aware of overall, how the ecosystem is operating and the potential that you see?
I mean, I see great potential here. I know the government is supporting it. They have their own startup fund. I know that there's a number of initiatives by different government agencies to encourage it. And I know there's a lot of international venture capital funds that are interested in Pakistan. Again, Pakistan, I think we have the second highest population of Muslims. 250, one of the highest population countries in the world. The opportunity is here. The opportunity is not just making something here for the rest of the world, but making something for Pakistanis as well. So the companies that are focusing on that now can do really well.
And like you mentioned about the population, there is also, I think 60% of the population is under, 35 years of age, something like that. So yeah, I think that is also going to be one of the key factors for, to make it.
Absolutely. And these people are thirsty for something. They're ambitious, they're motivated, they want to work, they want to support their families. They want to, grow themselves as well. So it's up to us to provide them that opportunity rather than, immigrating to the US or UK or Germany. Why not do it here in Pakistan? Let's grow it in Pakistan.
You mentioned about the role that SIFC is playing in facilitating the foreign direct investment and, to address some of the challenges that foreign businesses face in Pakistan. So how do you see the overall business climate in Pakistan as a foreign investor?
There are many things that we have to consider. Obviously, there's the government regulation side of things, but you also have to consider the opportunities that are part of this country. You have to consider inflationary risks. You have to consider any type of risk. So yes, government regulation is one part of it, but there are so many different things that go into it. And, in my opinion, if you have a good business idea, a good business plan, it doesn't really matter what the regulation is.
And whatever challenges you encounter, you may overcome that over a period of time.
Anything can be resolved.
Yeah.
Generally. And, my experience has been that SIFC and the Pakistani government has been very supportive. If there is an issue or a challenge, generally it's a one-off. It's something that can be resolved very easily. I do not see a systematic issue about something very specific. I don't see that.
How do you see the potential in traditional industries like agriculture and textiles in Pakistan compared to the new emerging sectors like IT, green energy, fintech?
I mean, obviously, textile, agriculture, those will have lower relative returns than something like IT or AI or cryptocurrency. But textiles and agriculture, they're the backbone of our economy. They're the ones that generally have, pushed us to where we are now. So I've been to Sialkot. I've met with the leather manufacturers. I've met with, the companies that create the footballs for the World Cup. And just because they are traditional, I wouldn't say they're not innovative, for example. A lot of these companies are investing very heavily in R&D to increase the output or increase the quality of their products. So I do think that there's some symbiotic relationship between those two.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that their money comes from textiles or agriculture, a lot of them have moved on or are in the process of moving to something more modern or for the new age.
And do you think that there is still sort of like gap in terms of our exports, because we're still not there when it comes to value addition, for example, and which can actually be really helpful for the exports.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that if we overcome this gap, could it be even better?
I think so. I think if we can focus less on exporting raw materials, more on refinement here in Pakistan, manufacturing here in Pakistan, immediately that will increase the value of our exports. And if we focus on the industries that we really think are the future. So, for example, these medical surgery equipment, that is something that Germany buys a ton of. I think that's one of Germany's biggest imports after textiles from Pakistan. So if we're able to focus on this, refine it, improve it, make really the best equipment that we can, the best products that we can, it would be great.
And what do you think, like, what are the general impediments that you see when it comes to value addition?
Competition from China, competition from Europe or Eastern Europe, Central South America. It's very difficult to compete with these countries. And I think one of the challenges that we face are the connections between Pakistan and other countries. So if we want to export to the US, for example, I'm not aware of any ships that go straight from Gwadar port or Karachi port to the US. There's always some, transshipment point. So if we can, with CPAC and everything, that's great for China and for us. But it would be great if we have some road connection to Europe or some direct ship connections to Middle East, to Europe as well. Now, for example, Pakistan makes these, the pink salt, the Himalayan salt, right? In Khevra mine, I think it's called.
Khevra mine, yeah.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. So we exported a couple of shipments of that to the US just to try it out, see how well it would do, and to Central America as well. And it sold like crazy. It was amazing. It really was. But what held us back is the difficulty in actually shipping it from from Pakistan to the US. And then we also shipped it from the US to Central America. We have a big distribution network in Costa Rica, in Central America. So this pink salt we were selling for the licking salt for animals, actually.
Yeah.
They like to lick on it. They enjoy it. So, the demand is there. The demand is like crazy. But because of the difficulty in the export process, it doesn't make any sense for us to keep doing that, unfortunately. And I wouldn't say that's something, endemic to Pakistan only. I think that's a problem with our connections to the rest of the world.
Are there like any steps that are being taken to address this challenge?
Yeah, so it's a great question. And, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm trying to encourage Lufthansa, our German national airline, to actually come to Pakistan. Because, mangoes, for example, Pakistan makes some of the juiciest, some of the tastiest mangoes in the world. But the Germans will never know. If we ship it to them, it'll come 1 week later, But if we can get a direct flight and we can actually, freight those from Pakistan to Germany directly, Germans can buy mangoes. That's just one example. But really what it takes is awareness that, we need to push the airlines, we need to push road networks and transportation companies to enable that. It doesn't just happen for no reason. You have to make noise and you have to want it. So part of what I'm doing is I meet with the German embassy, I meet with German company representatives to say, hey, this is the opportunity. We have 3, 4, 5 companies that are ready to pay whatever the price is to ship those mangoes to Germany. But we need to have that facility. We can't go through Dubai. We can't go through Qatar. We want something direct.
When it comes to creating demand for products, and in the US, for example, we have Amazon. A lot of people are working on that. Is there any particular platform that is being created in Germany to fill the gap?
That would be amazing. But Germany has very strict privacy laws where we are not allowed to make a platform like that. So that is something that I have pushed my organization and the German government on. Why do we not collectively, put all the information together? Why do you have to go through the representative for Pakistan to get to the representative in Berlin? It should be an online portal. It should be online. I should be able to sign up as a company and be able to connect with another company. Unfortunately, due to very, very strict privacy laws in Germany, you cannot have an open search type of platform. You cannot search for, mining equipment manufacturers. It's just not possible. So what we do is each representative has their own way of doing things. Obviously, there's personal ways, there's emails and WhatsApp and things like this, but that's not right.
Yeah.
So the way we do it is we've partnered with a platform called Minas Online. They are a consultancy service company based in the Middle East. And so what we have done is when we meet, for example, one of the chambers here in Pakistan, we let them know, hey, if you'd like, we can include your companies as part of this platform. There will be, thousands of companies from Pakistan, thousands of companies from Dubai, from Saudi, from Kuwait and Qatar. But then also you'll have, thousands of companies from Germany who have signed up on the platform.
Right.
There's no, there's no way for us to say, okay, he's the representative for this city, and so he represents this company, unfortunately.
But like you mentioned that there are 85% of German population is employed under SMEs.
Correct.
Right? So that's like a huge chunk of the population. But I'm just wondering, like, are there not any platforms that enables this online selling? How do you make sure?
Online selling, yeah? Absolutely. There are platforms. I mean, we have Amazon in Germany. We have marketplaces in Germany. We have that, absolutely. But the connecting, the networking part of it is something we do not have. You have it in the sense of, yes, you can sign up for it and be part of it. Yes, sure. But, we have so many companies as part of our organization that they have to willingly decide to be part of it. And again, Germany has very strict privacy laws that not all companies want to be part of it. They would rather, individual basis, case by case.
Talking about SMEs and foreign direct investment in Pakistan, are there like any de-risking tools that are there for German investors to when they're investing in Pakistan or countries like Pakistan? So how do you sort of address their potential concerns when they're investing here?
I will say that there are a number of German companies that have been here for many, many decades. We have Siemens, we have Metro, we have so many companies that have set up here a long time ago, and they're successful. They're able to repatriate their profits. They're able to run efficiently. So I would say to those companies, come to Pakistan, see it for yourself, because it's so difficult to understand a country unless you've been there. In Germany, I'm sure it's the same way here and around the world, but what's on the news is what we think, is what we believe, So if I bring a German company here that they see, oh, there's reliable electricity, there's a network, a road network, there's reliable internet, it changes their perspective immediately. So it's all about, raising awareness, showing them that it's possible.
There's a negative perception about Pakistan in, European countries or in the West, because the news that gets to the Western media is either about terrorism or cricket.
Absolutely, yeah.
There has been this ongoing for many years, a bit of propaganda as well, a bit of negative news, and I'm sure the perception of Pakistan as a place where there are economic opportunities available may not be as common. So while you're working in Pakistan as a foreign investor, how do you address this challenge when it comes to your work with BVMW?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. And again, there are a number of companies, German companies that are here that have been here for many, many decades. Not just German, British, American, Middle Eastern. We have been here for many years. When I have an office in World Trade Center, Giga Mall. When I go there, it's not just Pakistanis. I see British people, I see Chinese people, I see people from Kenya, I see people from Nigeria, I see people from Dubai and Saudi and Oman. So things are changing and people are coming. Another thing that I'm seeing very, very often is YouTubers that are coming to Pakistan. Nobody's letting them pay for anything. They're getting free food. They're seeing the country, how beautiful it is. That is changing people's perspective as well. Part of what we do as well with my team is we try to promote Pakistan, the beauty of Hunza Valley, Abbottabad, all these places that people maybe never have heard of. The first time I went to Skardu, I was so impressed. I was so confused. This is Pakistan. This looks like Switzerland. So it's really all about raising awareness. And I have to say that Pakistan government and, for example, the Pakistan embassy in Berlin, they are promoting Pakistan very well. They are posting online beautiful pictures and videos. So I think if we as a country can do as much as possible, post the positives about our country, post it on social media where everybody can see it, where there's no bias from the news or from media, that would be the best thing.
So when it comes to de-risking the investment of the foreign investors, are there like any instruments that are offered by European Union or Pakistani government?
Yes, there are a number. One of the things that a lot of German companies do is when they decide to invest in Pakistan, they will get a loan from a state bank in Germany, backed by the state. And generally those, take into consideration risks of investing abroad. And so if something happens to them, they are secure. I know that there are some other tools that the European Union and that there are some, trade treaties between Germany and Pakistan that help with that as well.
I also learned about EFSD plus, which helps with de-risking. Then there are, GSP plus and many other deals as well that Pakistani exporters can take advantage of. And so as the EU investors in Pakistan.
A part of my organization, we have a whole group of people that work on exports and imports from Germany. So if there is a company here in Pakistan that is looking to export to Germany, but don't know how to do it, reach out to me and I will put you in touch. If there's a German company that's looking to set up in Pakistan, that working group can help you with that as well. And they will provide the best, it's like a consultancy service. They will try to provide you the best possible solution, taking into consideration your risk profile, your appetite. Just like you make an investment in the stock market, it's the same thing. You do a little bit of analysis just to see where can I hedge my risk and, where can I make sure that everything works well.
And when it comes to crypto market, how do you see that? Although Pakistan has been quite late, I guess, in accepting it and being interested in it, maybe 10 years now, since the world was aware of Bitcoin and all of the utility of blockchain. But do you think that we are too late into the game?
No, not at all. I think this is still the beginning. Cryptocurrency is changing the world. It's funny you mentioned that because I heard that Pakistan actually has one of the highest number of users in one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. So the people are using it, it's there. It cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
So the fact that the Pakistani government is in the phase of regulating it is an incredible opportunity, really incredible opportunity. Imagine, how much money is going to be unlocked by having this. Imagine how much in fees Pakistani people are paying whenever they remit their money from the US to Pakistan, from Germany to Pakistan. Billions of dollars, literally billions of dollars that Pakistani people are going to save through using cryptocurrency. Why do a wire transfer when you can transfer Ethereum? Why do a wire transfer when you can transfer, USDT? Yeah. Anything like this, instant, very low fees. It's so much better, in my opinion. And it allows you to do so many more things. So you do not have to invest in cryptocurrency. You do not need to buy Bitcoin because you think the value is going to go up. No, not necessarily. You can use cryptocurrency. You can accept cryptocurrency payments and try and exchange it into rupees if you want.
Yeah.
You can do something like tokenized assets. This beautiful studio that we're in, you could tokenize it. You could have it on the blockchain if you wanted. This building that we're in, you could sell shares of it through tokens. The stock market, you could tokenize that. So the opportunities are incredible. I'm very, very happy the way things are going. And I'm very happy that the Pakistani government is doing this. I would love to, provide as much support as I can through advice or anything with the government. I've been involved with cryptocurrency actually since 2013, very heavily. So in Costa Rica, we launched one coin, and the mining of it is fully powered by a hydroelectric dam. So it's free energy basically.
Yeah.
So our backers are making a yield based on the electricity that we can sell from that dam. So there are so many different ways that you can do this that I'm very excited for this. Really, I'm hoping to launch a cryptocurrency exchange the moment that it's allowed. I have a team that's working on it already. And I don't want to launch a coin, for example, or launch that type of product. I would rather consolidate the information that's already there, consolidate market prices, market data, but also have a platform where, if you accept crypto payments for your, consulting work, that, your company can be on my page, or if, Esquire Hotel allows cryptocurrency payments, that you can book it through our platform. So very excited about it. Extremely excited.
It reminds me, like, I also got to know about cryptocurrency back in 2014-15. One of my friends was actually involved into mining Bitcoin in China.
Yeah.
And he explained it to me, and
It's
I
a
was
good friend
like,
to have.
yeah. And at the right time.
Yeah. I hope you're still in contact with him.
Yeah. But it was very funny. Like whenever I tried to explain the model to people, and they were like, "Are you saying that there is a machine that makes money?" Or it was very hard for common people to understand. And so yeah, we were into mining, and in China there were there are like many micro dams, and a lot of farms were actually connected to them. But yeah, it's great to see that Pakistan is finally adopting it, because initially I thought like we have this default method of dealing with things, which is that if we don't understand it, we just ban it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great that we are opening up. But rightly so. I mean, there were a lot of concerns regarding black money as well. So,
and that's a legitimate concern. Of course, it's a legitimate concern. And I will say also, this is not investment advice. Do not throw all your money at Bitcoin or Ethereum. Anything you do, you need to consider how it affects you. What other potential investments you could make. And you have to consider that cryptocurrency is also very volatile right now. Going up 10% or down 10% is not uncommon. That is very uncommon in the stock market, for example. So you would not have this type of volatility. But at the same time, the ones that invested 10 years ago now, they made 100,000 times their returns. So, it's all about your risk appetite, your risk profile. What can you do? What can you not do?
Do you think that looking ahead in the future, this is still going to be something that will, that is here to stay?
I think so. And I think Pakistan has the opportunity to become a superpower in that sense, a global power, because for example, cable internet, in a way Pakistan kind of skipped that. Like the 5G I get on my phone is probably better than the wired internet I have in my home here. So we have the opportunity with that as well, that we can skip generations of technology because maybe we do not have that previous technology. So I would say if we are able to become a leader, just like El Salvador is, where the country accepts crypto payments for utility bills, for your phone bill. If I want to buy a car, that I'm able to do it using cryptocurrency. If we are able to do that, we can become a pioneer. We can become a superpower.
I think at the core of it, what people and system governments, they sort of like need to accept is also the fact that the whole concept of money itself is, it's just a medium of exchange which is acceptable to everyone.
Right. The value is just what you accept it to be.
Yeah. So I think like it's just taking us a bit of time to understand the difference. I mean, if you just read the historical backgrounds, there were times when people were exchanging, goods on with the seashells. There was this barter system as well. So I think this is just the part of evolution for humans overall.
And I think also, a lot of governments, they're scared because it is something you cannot control. It is not something that you can, stop payments or anything like this. It is something that's by the people, for the people.
Yeah.
But I do think this is the way things are moving. And it would be good. And what Pakistan is doing now is good, that we are regulating it in a proper way. Because I also think a free-for-all is not the solution. Because, again, then that unlocks the black money that we do not want.
And honestly, I feel like people who had to transfer the money through this method, they might have done it already.
Yeah.
We are too late to stop that. So it's now properly, it's time to regulate it.
Yeah. But I mean, just simply, if I want to start a company in Pakistan, and if I want to send $50,000 from Dubai to Pakistan, if I do that through my bank account, I'm paying maybe, $500, $600, $700 in fees. It's very expensive to send money to Pakistan. If I do that with cryptocurrency, maybe I'm paying $6, $7 in fees. It doesn't matter if I send $5 or $5 million, you know. The fees are very, very low.
But looking ahead in the future, and if you're also keeping up with the technological advancements that are going on, so when I think about the quantum chips that are more practical than ever, then there is rise of AI as well. Both of these two things are happening at the same time, and I think it's the integration of these two feels a bit scary. I mean, I am not an expert on this, but I feel that when we have systems in place where quantum computers are more practical, then the encryption may also come into question, and we may also have currencies that might be encrypted through the quantum computers themselves.
Right.
So do you think that this poses a threat to the existing blockchains or the currencies that we have?
I think AI in general poses a threat to all types of systems. We're at a point where AI is quite smart. I wouldn't say as smart as a person yet, but it's happening so rapidly. Could it hack blockchain? I'm not sure. I don't know if that is even possible in that way. But AI is something that needs to be done very carefully. In my companies, we use AI all the time, but we use it very pointedly. So I'm not, my team is not saying, hey, write this email to Jawad thanking me for inviting me for an interview. Instead, you write the outline of everything that you want, and then you give it to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you maybe improve my pronunciation, or sorry, my vocabulary or something like that. But it's not, the end all solution. You need to put in the effort. My company and I, we use, like I said, we use AI for everything now, but we do it very, very pointedly. It's not open-ended. We're not just, copying and pasting everything. No, it helps us. And one big thing that we do is, not a lot of people do this, is use ChatGPT to write your prompt for ChatGPT. If I want to create an image of my dog, my puppy sitting on a chair, I'm not just going to tell ChatGPT generate an image of my dog sitting on a chair. I'll tell ChatGPT generate a prompt that tells ChatGPT to, have my dog sitting on a chair, and then it can add all these details as well.
Yeah.
So AI is great depending on how you use it. And I do think there needs to be some regulation. I don't know how it would work around the world because, China can say they don't want to regulate it, or the US can say they don't want to regulate it. But it's a global problem and a global solution that we have to be aware of.
And particularly about cryptocurrencies as well, like, do you see any threat to the currencies in the future?
I think there are some cryptocurrencies that are built on hype, built on nothing but, jokes, for example. And I would not invest there. I would not put my money there. Maybe a little bit of money if you have a little bit, it's like going to the casino, basically. If you are really serious about cryptocurrency, I would say really read through the white papers, understand what is this coin trying to solve? Is this coin trying to solve something? Ethereum, that has a use for it. Bitcoin has a use for it. Litecoin has a use for it. But then there are some coins that it was literally created yesterday, and there's nothing, no utility to it. It's just for fun.
So I learned about like meme coins as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. There was one coin, maybe 1 year ago, I invested $75 into it because I thought the name was funny.
Yeah.
And then for 8 months, nothing happened. And then, when was it? I think it was December of last year. I opened it and it had gone to $50,000.
Wow.
And I was the fourth biggest shareholder of this coin that I didn't even know. I bought it because it was a funny name. So from $75, it went up to $50,000. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. But then, of course, if you are 4% of the whole market, the moment you sell, the price is going to crash.
Yeah.
So that's something I had to deal with. In the end, it was something like $5,000. But it's incredible, $75 to $5,000 from forgetting that I had a coin. So sometimes I like to, put in $5 or $10 into a coin just to see how it works. And there are hedge funds that do that now. There are hedge funds that'll scrape Twitter, scrape Instagram, Reddit, find keywords. What is popular right now? What is the meme? What is Elon Musk saying right now?
Yeah.
And they will create a coin with like the most popular phrase. And then they will, have 10,000 bots marketed on Twitter. Yeah. And then the moment it goes up, they sell it. So it's happening around the world. That's the part of the cryptocurrency that I would not want to get involved in,
because there is no real value there.
No.
And also it's more like you mentioned casino. So
exactly.
But do you think that there could be a possibility if these large corporations, they also come up with their coins? So for example, if we have a coin which is regulated by, let's say, Apple or Amazon or Google, would that change things a bit?
It would be interesting, because how do you value that? Is it based on the value of the company? Is it like a share of the company then? Because are you considering what is it backed by? It's backed by the enterprise value of this company.
Yeah.
So really, if you have a coin of that company, you have a share of that company in a way. It would be interesting. I'm not sure. I know there are some very large companies in America, like Overstock.com. They're very large. They have furniture and they're an online marketplace. They accept cryptocurrencies. Yeah. So each individual company, I don't know about that. Yeah. But I think if we can decide on 1, 2, or 3, that would be great.
But then that also changes the whole system.
It would be interesting. I mean, I'm sure we are, the moment the regulation hits, that somebody's going to create a rupee stablecoin, for example.
Yeah.
Which is then just going to replace the rupee and payments and everything. So in a way, it's very innovative, but in the other way, it's like, aren't we just doing the same thing again?
Because I also learned about one coin which actually keeps its price equivalent to US dollar. I'm forgetting the name.
There's USD Tether.
Yeah. But you're right. So then that doesn't really bring anything new. It's just the same thing then.
Exactly. It just makes it easier to make transfers, which is good. But at the same time, you have to trust that company that manages that coin, that they're backed by something, that when you put in $10, that they're using that money to buy, US dollars or treasury or bonds or something, or else it's not backed by anything.
I mean, although it's also debatable then, whether if the paper money is also backed by something.
That's true. Absolutely. Ever since, we removed the gold standard.
Yeah.
I mean, anything, the value is just, what you and I decide it is. Anything could be any value. So hopefully that doesn't change.
Yeah. Other than cryptocurrency, are there like any technological advancements that are going on that could prove to be a game changer for Pakistan?
I think connectivity is very important in Pakistan. So something like Starlink could be very important. Starlink, 5G internet, 6G internet now. All of those things I think we can innovate on and implement before big countries like Germany or the US can. We can be like a testing bed in that sense.
And there are like many other companies also coming up with that are going to compete with Starlink. So I was like reading somewhere that there are some Chinese companies also now like investing in this sector, and they also come up with the competing bandwidth as well.
That's something I love about Pakistan, is that we are not reliant on China or US. We're partners with both of them. We're partners with US, China, Europe, Asia, Russia. We're partners with everyone. We're open. So this allows us to take advantage of technological innovation from both sides.
Yeah.
Starlink, the US one, could be very important, but at the same time, that's controlled by Elon Musk. So if there are competitors, 10, 20 companies, it would be very great.
The businesses that you're running, are there like any that are focusing on IT particularly, or?
Yeah, so I have 2 companies that focus mostly on IT. So 3SC, it's IT outsourcing. Basically, we work with clients from US, Canada, Europe, and we try to do their back end.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I'm really excited about, and we just got it yesterday, is approval for my brokerage here in Pakistan. So through the Pakistan Mercantile Exchange, you'll be able to buy and sell shares in companies, indices. You'll be able to buy currencies and commodities like gold and oil. I think this is a great opportunity. There are so many young people in this country that are really, really motivated and ambitious for a second job or for second income. And I think this will allow them to do that. So I'm very excited about that. And once that's, up and running, I'll come back on the show.
And how could people access it if we have to?
Yeah, sure. So we're at northcape.pk and northcapemarkets.com. We have not started operations yet. This will come in the next 2-3 weeks. And then we also have Nimupani, for example. This is our social media and content creation house, where we try to post about daily life in Pakistan. Our initial focus was on overseas Pakistanis, those in the US and in Europe. At this point, we are more, posting about daily events here, cultural events, food things, food-related things, cool videos about Pakistan.
Yeah. So more like changing the perception of foreign investors in Pakistan somehow, is it?
Exactly. Raising awareness as well. We really want to be able to showcase Pakistan in that sense. It's still early days, but we're working on it now.
Showing Pakistan from a different lens.
And then the other thing, as part of Nimupani, is that we also go to events around the world. We, film it, we document it, we create the social media for it. So in October, we're going to Saudi Arabia, to WAM, which is a big expo done by GTEX, which is a large event organizer based in Dubai. And so Nimupani is the social media partner for that, creating the content, the videos, the documentary about it. So very excited about that. I'm very excited in general about the relationship between Pakistan and the GCC countries. So recently we saw about, the updates on the visa. There are so many Pakistanis in Dubai, for example. Pakistanis built Dubai, really, figuratively and literally. They built Emirates airline, the best airline in the world now. I think it's time that we can export some of this from UAE, from Saudi, back to Pakistan.
Yeah.
That we bring those people back to Pakistan, the skilled people. For my companies, I do that. So I have people that are working in my Pakistan office. They will move to Qatar or Saudi or UAE, work in my offices for a few years, get that experience, get the knowledge, and then they come back to Pakistan and are able to train the rest of the team as well. It's very important that, we cannot, right now there's kind of a brain drain, and it's a big challenge that we need to focus on.
Yeah.
So we need to make it that people want to stay in Pakistan, that the opportunities are here in Pakistan. And I think we're slowly getting there.
You manage a large team working in Pakistan in many other businesses as well. How do you make sure that you keep them motivated? Is there any particular sort of thing that you keep in mind when you're managing your teams?
I treat my team, like I would a friend, human beings. That's what we are. Again, I bring that German style of management. So I'm also very strict with my timings, with things like getting your work done. If this is your task for the day, then I would like for you to complete this during the day. But of course, at the same time, you need to be there for your team. You need to not just give a task and then be gone. You need to follow up with your team. You need to be able to provide them the support if they need. A lot of times you have the very clear image in your head of what you want. But, you might not know what I'm thinking, or she might not know what I'm thinking, or he might not know what I'm thinking. So really, you have to explain things. Explain things to the best of your abilities, what you want, how you want it. And then, of course, sometimes there's a language barrier. English is not my first language. English might not be your first language. So, you have to consider that, get things in writing, get things written down. And then also, probably the biggest thing for any company, any person in the world is your salary. You need to pay a respectable salary. That's just how it is.
And any particular advice that you have ever received which you feel changed the way you think?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things I would say is, you need to go to places that make you uncomfortable. You need to do things that make you uncomfortable in order to, that's where the opportunities are. Nobody wants to go where it's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to go to where it's difficult. Pakistan 10, 15 years ago was not the easiest country in the world to start investing in or to start businesses in. But because of that reason, I am successful. That's part of the reason I'm successful. Because I came here when other people didn't want to come here. Yeah. So I would say, don't just go where it's easy. Don't just go where you want to go. If you're young like me, go 5, 10 years, go somewhere you want to go, or go somewhere where there's opportunity. Don't be held back by, I feel uncomfortable or I'm tired or something like this.
And I think in your case also, traveling has helped you a lot, I guess.
Yeah, I am very lucky. I'm so thankful to my parents for taking me around the world, get to experience so many different cultures. I was in China last week, and even though I've never been there, I was able to communicate because, I've had Chinese friends. I went to university with Chinese people and traveled around the world in that regard. So cultural knowledge is very important. The fact that, I went to a good school and good university and that my parents supported me through all of that was very important. I'm obviously very aware of how lucky I am to have had the support to where I am now. I think that any successful person, if they say they're not lucky or that luck didn't play any part in it, is wrong. I think for anybody successful, even someone like Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, yes, they're extremely hard workers, 10 times as hardworking as you and me combined. But, that's not all of it. You need to have some luck involved as well.
This reminds me of this book of, it's called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And, it's an interesting read. And the conclusion of the book is that, yes, hard work, that helps, like you said, but you need to have a bit of luck. You need to be born at the right time as well. So he gave like examples of, let's say, Steve Jobs. If he was not born in that particular time, if he did not have the opportunity to come across, that opportunity to learn how to code.
Yeah.
And then and then he enjoyed it. He started doing it. He spent like 10,000 hours in perfecting that skill.
Right.
Only then he was able to, become who is.
And not many people can drop out of college and start a company. Not many people have to support their family. Many people have to support their parents. So, but at the same time, Steve Jobs wouldn't be Steve Jobs without, or Bill Gates wouldn't be Bill Gates, or, Jeff Bezos wouldn't be Jeff Bezos without the incredible effort they put in.
And any particular book that you recommend, or any book that really changed the way you operate?
Yes, absolutely. I'll go very basic because this is something you learn, day one of when you're studying finance is Benjamin Graham, Value Investing, his book. This is he's the literal pioneer. He literally wrote the book on it, on value investing. So investing in companies that you believe will be successful rather than speculation. Like Warren Buffett says. So, it teaches you to invest in a company, but instead of, buying 5 shares of Coca-Cola, think of it like you're buying Coca-Cola, the whole company. Would you buy this whole company if you could?
Yeah.
So that book, even though it's, at this point, it's something like 60, 65 years old, it's still very relevant.
Yeah.
So anybody that's interested in finance or investments, I would recommend that book.
Matthew, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you over.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I hope we get to host you soon again and talk about some of the other things that you're doing.
Absolutely. I would love that.
Thank you.
Thank you.